Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of the Markout Podcast. I am Mustache, joined as always by Mr. Dustin. How are we doing today,
Hello.
Dustin?
I'm doing good, feeling good. Took some hair off my face. Feeling good, feeling fresh, ready to cover WrestleMania 3.
Yep. And we usually film these towards the afternoon. This is the AM, so a little sluggish today. And that's appropriate because my God, we got a slug of a pay-per-view today. Yeah. It was a chore. This was watching a history
Listen,
lesson.
Nick, who requested this, not to cut you off, Nick, who requested this, you might have been a little boy when this came through. You might have some fond memories, and there's some good, parts of WrestleMania 3. But my God, if you ever do that to me again, we might have some issues, man.
Uh
Put me through 3 hours of hell.
it
But there
was
was some good. It was like hell mixed in with a little bit of sunshine, but pretty much hell.
it
So
was interesting to travel back in time. What do we want to start off here? Start off at the opening. I have some notes about that. Vince McMahon, man. It's weird. Tell me if you thought this. I saw the personification of the Mr. McMahon character when he first comes out. He looks very aggressive. He does not
mm-hmm.
look like announcer Mr. McMahon. He's jacked and he's like, "Yeah, WrestleMania 3, we're making money
Anthony.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got money
Yeah.
now, bitches." That's what I got from this. Um and
Yeah, it's true.
the opening was great in my opinion. I thought the background and everybody piled in. It looked like a fun time, and I like the setup with the
Mm-hmm.
mechanical rings and everything. What say
Mm-hmm.
you on that?
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as this felt like at this point, WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2 was big. My issue with WrestleMania 3 was the match quality, but as far as the like presentation, this was probably like the peak of the time of their presentation. Like as far as the amount of people who were at the event, the place was maxed out. It felt big. I mean, they had Aretha Franklin do, the
Hmm.
national anthem. Like Gorilla Monsoon is still to this day amazing. Just the presentation of the event felt like a really big event. So in that regard, and I think that's maybe why like some of the older wrestling fans remember it because this was the first, in my opinion, like the first big spectacle that the WWE put on because it felt like WrestleMania. It's just a lot of the matches didn't hold up, in my opinion. And I tried to judge them fairly. Like I tried to judge them off what good matches were for the time, but even for the time, I don't think a lot of them held up.
Well, let's dive into it. First match of the night was the Cam and Connection. Rick Martel, Tom Zink, good looking men, no homo,
Mm-hmm.
versus Bob Orton Jr., who, if you guys are not familiar with old wrestling, that is the father of one Randy Orton and the Magnificent Morocco, otherwise known as the Original Rock, and a
Mm-hmm.
tag team match to kick things off. Not very slow opener in my I don't know. I didn't get hooked on this one way or the other. I saw definitely they were trying to get the young guys over, but you have like two random people just thrown together in a tag team. It's kind of weird. You got Bob Orton Jr. and Magnificent Morocco who are singles guys, and there's no other connection they have that they're heels. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a setup for this. Obviously, we didn't go back and watch the fucking Saturday night's main events for this, but but overall, dud for me. What do you think about this
See,
one?
I kind of went in the opposite way. I thought it was one of the better matches on the card. Like I thought it
Mm,
was a good way to which that goes to how bad this card was. But like I really thought, um, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I thought it was a really good way to open up the card. Like it was pretty fast paced. The action was going through. Like I don't know the full story of it. I agree with you. It kind of seemed like it was thrown together, but it was a good way to get the Can-Am connection over. The Can-Am connection looked really good in the match. And like for its time, like if you watch that match and a lot of the tag team matches, just the basic structure of tag team matches that we see now, kind of go back to that match a little bit. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
they did this, and like for the time, they did some high flying moves and stuff like that. I gave it because I rated each match. So for the whole show, minus the Hogan, I'm going to break them down individually. For the whole show, minus the Hogan and Andre, I gave it 2 stars.
Two stars.
For the whole show, but for
Okay.
this match, I actually gave it 3.5.
Whoa,
Well,
whoa, that's high, dude.
I actually thought it was a good opener. I thought it was a good opener. I thought for the time it was fast paced. Like this was probably my second highest rated match on the card. I haven't seen Hogan and Andre yet because we're doing that as a watch along. But out of the matches that I watched, it was my second highest rated match on the card.
It's funny you picked this because I picked a weird match that I thought was very good too.
Oh, if you pick the match I'm thinking of, but we'll
I
move on.
we'll move on. So
But
so
yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
and a little sidebar, the commentary team, I can like we didn't talk about it too much. They're great, man.
Oh
Body
yeah.
has an excuse for everybody in the book, and he's so good at catching Gorilla. He's like, well, Gorilla, if that was you know, if that was the Cam Man connection that did that, you be for them. And it was just it's
Yeah.
so good. He catches them.
You
He's
know why that
freaking
is?
hilarious.
Because you're Jesse the Body Ventura. Every time I have something to say, you're like, "Well, if it was this person, or, well, if it was that person." Like, like they have good chemistry though. Like they have really
Yeah.
good chemistry as a team. One of the more underrated, probably commentary teams in history that doesn't get talked about a lot, but they're good.
Jess Jesse started this, man. He was the first heel commentator, and like everybody since then has followed in his footsteps. So, and he was great. Usually, the first person to do something isn't that great at it, but this guy's fucking good.
Mhm. Yeah, they were
Um,
good. Like I said, the presentation, like from everything from the commentators to the interviewers, the presentation, besides the video packages for the time, just to have a video package was good. But I mean, overall, the presentation, 9 out of 10 for me as far as WrestleMania. But
all right, next match, and spoiler alert. This is the match I thought was good, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. First of all, it's Hercules versus Billy Jack.
Hernandez,
Hercules Hernandez. No, I'm gonna call him Hercules. You know why? Because
my
his promo, he's the fucking real Hercules. He talks about how he fought the Nemean lion and all this shit and did the labors. This is the real Hercules. This is
well, then
crazy.
Hercules is shit.
What?
Okay.
He's not shit.
If
He's a
that's the real
Bobby.
Hercules, then that's
Bobby the
shitty
Brain
shit.
Heat traveled into the fucking Greek timeline and pulled out Hercules.
I wish I could go back into the timeline and take this match off the damn card. That's what I
And
wish
then
I could do.
you got Billy Jack Haynes. Hell of a name. Probably should work on that. In a full Nelson challenge match. Now, as you can tell, I really like the promo. At least it set up a storyline. They show a little clip. I always love matches where the guys got the two same finishers. I love that because it's who is the better one. Eddie Guerrero on RVD did it before. Who is the true master of the hold? I think that's a good storyline in itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess.
We've seen it a couple times with choke slams and fucking body slams and frog splashes. I always like when there's something because even if the workers aren't that great, there's something to go after here. And I saw a lot of good stuff. There was a moment where they both get it locked in on each other, and
Yeah.
they both have to. They both end up fighting it off. So you're like, man, the one guy's gonna have to weaken down the other guy because both their full Nelsons are about the same, and kind of a screwy finish at the end.
That's what
Uh,
ruined it for me.
yeah, I mean, you gotta expect that. in the times. I knew that big ass chain. He's wearing this big, huge chain that he killed Cerberus with. Apparently, um,
Oh
he's
my
got
god.
that has got to be used. So overall, I enjoyed this for some reason. I would give this a 2.5, which is like
So
yeah,
mhm.
maybe
I
3.
gave this honestly, and again, this is a testament to how bad this card is. This was like my I want to say it was like my fifth or sixth highest ranked match, and I gave it 1.5 stars. So, because I agreed with you that for the time, like I didn't take into consideration the hold, but like it seemed like they were telling a good story. And what killed me was they for two big guys, they're actually kind of moving around pretty good.
Yeah,
But then it just like to me it slowed down, and then like when they went out of the ring with the double count out, like this is what this WrestleMania did wrong, in my opinion. They had a lot of finishes that ended very badly, and it almost felt like it was a setup pay per view minus a WrestleMania. Like I understand WrestleMania was still in its infancy stages, but if it's
yep,
supposed to be your big event, you don't have double countouts and DQ finishes at WrestleMania, and that's what killed it for me. Um, like I said, compared to some matches on this card, 1.5 stars is very generous.
yep.
But
I don't give anything past it. Well, exception with one match, which we'll get to. I don't give
yeah,
anything past a 2 or 2.5.
well, the way I do it is 1 through 5. If 2.5 to me is in the middle of the ranking, so that's a decent match. 3 is good, 3 is really good, 4 is great, then obviously 5 is perfect. So I gave it a 1.5 stars. So it was slightly below average match, and it was just because of the finish, in my opinion.
That's good. I can't believe you gave Tom Zink that fucking match that high.
It was a good. What you talking about the Can Am connection
Yes, that
match?
was
That match
so.
was a good match. I
They were
thought for an
knocked off.
opener.
They were knocked off a star for that horrible tag team name, and then throwing together two heels that have nothing to
What's
do
wrong with
with
the
each.
Can? I didn't mind the Can Am connection. What's wrong with that
Oh my
name?
god, they're so you pull up generic '80s tag team. It's right there. Like there's no pizzazz. I mean, other than their two. What is the Cam and connection? What do they connect on? Maple syrup.
Their connection as a team. That's
Okay.
the connection as the team, Devin. Come on, dude. Doesn't take a
Uh,
rocket scientist, dude.
yeah, but I guarantee I don't know too. My '80s wrestling knowledge is a little bit, but I do remember that they have some sort of turnaround. That's what makes him the Rick the Model Martel later in his career, and I can guarantee you it's a stupid reason. But nonetheless, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Mix.
So
You can
go
announce
ahead.
this one. I've been announcing
Okay,
them.
so yeah, that's fine. So the next three is first of all, my God, how the mighty have fallen. You have King Kong Bundy, who literally the last WrestleMania had a steel cage match with Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship, is in a mixed, because I have to call it mixed at this time because I guess midgets aren't real people. But that I'm just going off what they're saying on the show because they called it a mixed
I,
tag match.
I don't. Okay.
Um, King Kong Bundy, Little Tokyo, which is racist as hell.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
racist. They're all these names
and
are all
Lord
bad.
and Lord Littlebrook
Yeah, because he's from fucking
versus
England.
versus Hillbilly Jim. Haiti kid, which he's black, so I guess he has to be from Haiti in their logic. That's also racist as hell.
I'll go into the Haiti kid in the. But go
Maybe I
ahead.
don't know something about the Haiti kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Little Beaver. So you have this match. First of all, I gave this a 0.5 star. This match was terrible. Okay, it was short. It ended in a DQ, and the logic of this match did not make any sense. So you have the midgets at the beginning. They're breaking all the rules, all four of them going to the ring against each other, hitting each other. Then one of them gets the tag to Hillbilly Jim. One of them gets the tag to King Kong Bundy. They're fighting. King Kong Bundy keeps whooping Hillbilly Jim's ass. Then the midgets keep getting involved. So the midget can hit the wrestler, but then the wrestler's like, "Hey, this is bullshit," throws him off. You knocked out a midget. You body slammed him. It's a DQ. Then they DQ King Kong Bundy. Like again, you had two matches.
Did
He
you
just
listen
had
to Ventura? Ventura was pissed. He was like, he should have did that. The
yeah,
midgets were interfering. And
and
that
I
reminded me of
agree.
you.
And
That
I
remi-
agree because but what made it even worse was you just had a match that ended off double count out. And now you have a match, first of all, that should not even be on the card, but then it ends in DQ. Like, horrible. This match is bad. This match is
uh,
bad. Terrible. Atrocious.
it was bad, but it was memorable. First of all, the Haiti kid,
Memorable for all the wrong reasons. Everybody remembers a train crash. Doesn't mean it's good.
was on a Piper's pit, and the reason why his hair's all messed up like that is because Roddy Piper shaved it not too long ago. Um, I thought like one of
Don't
the
you
things
dare
I
defend
noticed.
this.
No, I'm not because I don't think it was
Okay.
very good. But one of the things I noticed was Hillbilly Jim is a big motherfucker. I did
I
not
love
know
Hillbilly Jim.
he is huge, man. I did not know he was that tall, and he kind of looks like not a monster, but he looks like that would be a good match for King Kong Bundy. They should have just did a
Did it a
regular match.
singles match, yeah,
Yeah,
without throwing the
that's
midget.
yeah. The midgets was weird. The
Don't go mess
promo
with a country boy, dude.
the
Don't
promos
go.
were hilarious because he was like, I will lay my body on the line, but if one of my little friends gets in trouble, I'll do everything to protect my little friends. That was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fucked up. He did nothing to protect them.
I know. He just let him get in there and get
He
fucked up.
didn't do shit.
And then that midget took one body slam. It's just like he's dead. They had to
Well,
carry him out of the
well, he
ring.
felt
Having,
that's like a 50-foot fall for him.
I guess that's true.
And then all the other midgets, despite their differences, they band together to attack.
See, there's a lot of things. This isn't a political show, but there's a lot of things going on in the world where there's division against people. Just look, if you ever hate the person next to you, just remember those midgets been banded together against King Kong Bundy. We're
They
capable of
did.
anything in this world.
Yeah, they
So,
all got together and they were like, "We will take on the King Kong Bundy." But overall, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I would still give it a half a star, just like you. But
well,
I
the only thing that I liked about this match was I always liked Hillbilly Jim, and he was over with the crowd. Like when he came out, the crowd popped for Hillbilly Jim. So.
Hillbilly Jim, yeah, I mean, maybe a better gimmick, could have been something. But that guy, yeah, he would look like a superstar.
All right, well, we'll move on from that atrocity. Let's go on to the next match.
The next match, loser must bow. And we got the Junkyard Dog, which is commonly referred to as the junk food dog around this time.
Oh,
Um, against Harley Race, who pretty much every person who watched this time who's a heel kind of took inspiration from Harley Race. Um, with Fabulous Moolah in the corner, your number one pick from last week,
mm-hmm.
and Bobby Heenan, who is probably the greatest manager of all time. What say you on this match?
Um, again, just fell into a theme. For what little bit we got in the match, it wasn't bad. I don't understand what WWE like why they didn't book JYD better because if you go back and watch it, like another big reaction from the crowd, people love JYD. But again, like I gave it a half a star just because. What you want to say something?
He's a horrible fucking wrestler. That's why they didn't put him. He sucks ass. He's so bad. He's with one of the best wrestlers of currently in
This
the
was
company.
also he was way past his prime. He's in his 50s at this point.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, like unless I'm wrong, like he was in his 50s, but like he just I don't know, man. He's way past his prime. Like JYD was over, like, but I mean, the match lasted like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long match.
So like, it just I don't know. It was
I,
just too the matches on this card, and I don't mean to overtalk you, but the matches on this card it just seemed like they were more focused on building the story post match
mhm.
than the match itself, and that's not what WrestleMania should be, you know. So I gave it a half a star.
Yeah, I thought this was the worst match on the card in my opinion. And you have Harley Race, but just everything seemed to fall apart. It didn't seem like it was it wasn't a good match. That's all I'll say. It was
I gotta
bad.
confirm that fact though. So when did WrestleMania 3 happen? Do you know the year? It was
87, no? 87?
87. So he
Or
was
maybe
born. Yeah, let me
yeah,
look that up
87,
real quick. It
87,
was
I'm pretty sure.
87.
Yeah.
So he was born in 94. So or
94.
43 or 43. I don't know why the hell
I
I
was going to
said
say
94.
1894.
No, well that's what he looks like. But if it was in 87, the 1943. Yeah, he was. Well, he wasn't quite 50, but he was in his mid 40s. He's 45, so he
There's
was
a
not
lot.
like a spring chicken in that ring. So
Everybody always talked about Junkyard Dog was very, very popular everywhere he went. However, he was never a great worker, and people always talk about him to this day as being someone who was just over with the crowd. But ring wise, I could see why he was
but a
just.
lot of people in this era, if you look back at them, like people look at them with rose-colored glasses, a lot of these people weren't the best workers. Like
I,
the people that were the best workers, they get the credit they deserve, like your Macho Mans and even your Hogans and your Ricky Steamboats. But like a good three-fourths of the people that wrestled in this period weren't amazing workers, in my opinion.
I think everyone I saw was pretty damn good up until this point. Um, but yeah, he was the one that stood out to me as like, God damn, he sucks.
I like
Sorry.
Junkyard Dog, dude. Like,
Yes, he did the Mark Henry. I can't believe Mark Henry did that shit.
yeah, I like that. It's an
Uh,
homage. It's an
the
homage.
headbutts.
All right. Well, I'll let you go to the next one.
Yeah,
Match
quickly.
number
Let's
5
let's
on the card.
tear these down like a lumberjack. The next was the Dream Team. Brutus, the Barber, Kerry Hogan's Weed, Beefcake versus and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Excuse me.
hmm
Um, against the Fabulous Rougeos. The evil Frenchmen. I bet they like to drink their wine and eat their baguettes.
Well, actually, the Rougeos were the baby faces.
Oh, are they? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did
Started
you know
off.
who? Did you know? Not to cut you off, but I found this tidbit because I researched it a little bit after I watched it. Did you know Jacques of the Rougeau brothers? You know who he ended up becoming later on?
I've heard. Who is he?
The Mountie.
The Mountie. Yes, 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 yes. Um, pretty cool. To have a French tag team at this time. But overall, this match was very forgettable. I don't even have shit in my notes about it, so it must have not been so good.
Um, I mean, again, it was one of those matches that it was like 4 minutes. Um, the only takeaway I gave it a half a star.
God,
um, the maybe that's too generous. I gave it a half a star. The only thing I took from this is you want to talk about Junkyard Dog. Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake is one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen.
my dad was always a Hogan fan, so in turn, I liked Brutus Beefcake. I liked the big scissors. I liked the gimmick. Um, I don't think he ever could have been anything else without Hogan, and that's what it is. But I don't think he's that bad. I don't
He's
think he's worse than the
terrible.
Junkyard Dog. But
God, if you want to make Junkyard Dog look like $1,000,000, just put him in the ring with Brutus Beefcake.
he
Make
used
him
to
look
do
like
the
a good
Daniel
wrestler.
Bryan knee before Daniel Bryan did it.
Cool. I'm happy for him. Doesn't mean he's good,
That's pretty cool, though. That's a pretty innovative finisher for the time.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to talk about moving on? Like I just don't understand. Like very quickly, because I was talking to Jason, who helps edit the show and stuff. He said he remembers WrestleMania 3. It was like the WrestleMania that like kicked things off. I solely just think it's because of the presentation, because like I think people look back. It's this pay per view definitely benefits from the nostalgia factor and it being Hogan versus Andre. Because this show, minus one other match that I think me and you agree on that's really good, this card just is not good.
Hogan and Andre, you have to understand that's like prime big fight feel, and at the time, wrestling was still it wasn't out yet to everyone that it wasn't real. Most people knew, but it wasn't out
Mhm.
like it is now. So you got to think of this as like a high level Tyson fight at his prime, or a high level Ali fight. This is what, like, people didn't care about these other matches, really. They wanted to see Hogan and Andre, and they did it so well. And honestly, that was good enough to sell the pay per view. It was just a bonus that we had Macho Man and Steamboat on it to make it not so
Mm.
horrible. But that was the bank. They could have had a bunch of matches like this and still had Hogan and Andre, and I think it would still be known as a big WrestleMania and very
Well,
successful.
yeah, but that's how a lot of WrestleManias are. Like if you even look back more recent history to WrestleMania 25, like
Hmm.
people really like WrestleMania 25, but if you break that card down, like Michaels and Taker, like
People
nothing
like
else.
that.
Well, a lot of people think Michaels and Taker is the best match of all time. A
It's
lot of
pretty
people
damn
do,
good. I think the
but like,
second one's better.
see, I think the first one's better. The second one was better. Not to get too off topic, the second one was better because of the story. But the first one, as far as pure like match, is better. But like, if you look at that WrestleMania 25 card, like it, it's not that good. Like even the main event, like the main event was Triple H Orton. Like on paper, that's good, and Triple H and Orton have had a lot of good matches, but here they just had a dud.
That was a bad one, I remember. Over well, you might have to talk about that pay per view someday because I remember some stuff from it. But yeah,
It
um,
had you one of your favorite matches, not to get off topic, but the Chris Jericho versus the
I love
Legends in the
that.
handicap
I love
match.
that. And
You
good
get to
way to segue to the next match. We have one of those legends in the next match. But yeah, finish your thought on that?
no, no, that's a great segue. Don't let me ruin the segue. You go into next to it. We're getting the art of the segue down. So
The next match is Roddy Piper, who
mhm.
is leaving. This is his retirement match.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Versus, he's gonna go out and make films. I believe he's gonna be filming, or either he's just filmed or he's gonna be filming They Lived, which will go on to be a very great movie in pop culture. And if you guys like movies and you want to see a good movie with a wrestler in it, They Live is a great movie with a wrestler in it, and he's a star. And Roddy Piper's a very underrated actor. He's really good in that movie. But we got Roddy Piper versus adorable Adrian Adonis, with Jimmy Hart in the corner. Um, Very historic match. If people don't
Hmm.
remember Steamboat and Savage, and they don't remember Hogan, this is the third one that they remember here. What say you on this one?
Um, it was it was okay. Again, a little too short to my liking, but it was a lot longer. Like the hair versus hair stipulation in this made it pretty entertaining. I just thought it was a okay match, for for just because it's Piper's last match, which I did not know that before I gave my rating, so I'll probably like I gave it a 2.5. I didn't think the match was that great, but just because but the crowd, if you go back and watch the crowd in this match, it was they were all into it. So I gave it a 2.5 stars.
And this retirement from Piper wouldn't last too long, but he would be going away for a significant time to go fill some movies and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But the image of him shaving Adrian Adonis's head is pretty iconic. One of Piper's things he's known about, and it's just crazy that he was the first heel to be so good and cool that he eventually had to turn into a face because he was so over with the crowd at that time. And I watch a lot of Roddy Piper shit because he can just tear somebody down. He was the original roast master. He would find something about somebody and he would attack it, and he didn't care. And it was just he's good. He could talk about anybody, do anything. And I thought he was a good wrestler too, to boot.
Yeah, I mean, what fun fact about this too, because I want to give a shout out because I watched this. I like to get second opinions when I'm reviewing stuff. So there's a guy by the name of John Canton. He has a website. I don't know if he's the main person, but he reviewed WrestleMania 3 on TJRWrestling.com. So after I watched the matches for myself, I kind of went back and got some second opinions. But when he made a point on there where Roddy Piper was throwing the hair out to some of the crowd, which I kind of focused more on the matches, so I skipped past a lot of the post match stuff. But apparently, when I was researching, there were like people in that crowd that caught some of his hair and put it in like a plastic case, and they have still kept it to this day. That's
Is
crazy how that's crazy how a lot of wrestling fans are. I thought that was interesting.
well, I mean, I might do that shit too. I mean, imagine you're one of the people who caught the Rock's elbow pad. You know, how many elbow pads did he throw out in his career? And if you still have one of those, I'd steal that shit. But
Probably got all that sweat on it and shit.
yeah, I mean, it's the Rock's elbow pad. For the love of God, that's cool, man.
Adrian Adonis's hair. Got
Yeah,
Adrian Adonis's. Someone in somewhere out there has Adrian Adonis's hair in a case and
yeah,
just
from
treasuring it.
1987. That's cool too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an iconic moment. I keep that shit too.
What did you rate it though?
Um, for a I give it 2 stars.
So I actually rated it higher than you did. It's kind of
Not a lot
surprising.
of shit got high ratings from me on this one.
I do you want me to take the next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the next match we have here was the Hart Foundation and Danny Davis versus the British Bulldog, or they beat the British Bulldogs and Tito Santana. Finally, after trudging through all these bad matches, we get actually a halfway decent match.
Wow.
This was the second highest rated match I had on the car, or sorry, third, because I gave the opener a 3.5. I gave this as a 3, but I never get mad at watching Bret Hart work. The British, I think Bret Hart is amazing. I know you don't care for Bret Hart that much.
What?
I
What?
you've
I love
always
Bret Hart.
you in the past, yeah, I thought you said he was boring.
He's a whiny baby, but he's great. I think he's good. I mean, maybe I said that at one point, but watching a lot of Bret Hart stuff, he's a great wrestler. You know,
But
nothing to take away from Bret Hart.
well, and then we got Danny Davis, who actually is a lot better than I gave him credit for. He was pretty over in this match. And then obviously you got Tito Santana and the Bulldogs. Even though Tito was a little older here, um, he was still, in my opinion, working pretty good. Like, I thought this was a solid match. I gave it 3 stars.
Three
It was
stars.
fast paced and yeah.
Yeah, Bret Hart is known for at this time being the best worker in WWE, or at least not known for it, but he's damn good, man. That's why they put him with all these new guys that would try to come into the territory. If we can have a match with Bret Hart, then maybe we could do something. It's weird to see the progression of Bret. Like, we all know him as this '90s star, but we forget that he was here in the '80s and he never really changes in ring stuff. Even when he went from a doubles to a singles, he just kind of like kept his stuff very legitimate, very good looking. I'll give it the same as you. I thought it was a good match too.
Yeah, I never. The Hart Foundation, I kind of forget about them, but when looking back, they probably are one of my favorite tag teams. Like, never have seen a bad Hart Foundation tag team match.
You
So,
like the new Hart Foundation? They sucked balls. I
well,
never liked them.
well, they're okay, but I'm talking about the old Hart Foundation. But
You like the new Heart Tip Foundation better, though.
I
I
just
know
like
you.
their finisher.
The heart
Their
attack.
finisher was cool, yeah. But yeah, this was one of the very few decent matches on this card. But anyway, moving on. You can take the dog pile that's coming up next.
You call this a dog pile?
Oh, this was
This
terrible.
man is over in Florida. If this match was in
I don't give a
Florida,
shit.
if this match was in
Mm-mm.
Florida, it'd be the main event. We got the natural Butch Reed, former
Well, my
NFL
God, you might
star.
as well burn your money right there. Anyway, go ahead.
You don't know shit about the natural Butch Reed, man. Don't be talking about him.
I'm glad I don't. It's not good.
Uh, and then we got on the other side, Coco Beware, which oh. That's hilarious. You like people love
What?
Coco Beware. Did you not see what Jason just did? He put the damn
Oh,
Coco
I
Beware
was looking at
right
a note. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
there. That's Frankie right there, boys. It's Frankie and Coco.
Junkyard
Why did
controversial opinion. I like Junkyard Dog better than Coco Beware.
Whoa, dude.
Yes.
Coco Beware is a worker, man. He's actually a good wrestler. I for some reason in the 80s, a lot of people like Coco Beware, and I don't know
Obviously,
if it was the
Jason does. He just has a random picture right there to put up of him with a little bird. Oh, there it is
that,
again,
that's
Coco.
Frankie
Man,
the
I will
Bird,
say,
man.
man, I will say though, those are some sick ass sunglasses though. Like when he popped
Coco
those sunglasses up on there, I was like, damn, I want me a pair of those shades now.
There's a video of him wrestling somebody in Memphis. I forget. I think it's called. If you look up Coco Beware destroys a jobber, it's one of the greatest things you'll ever see. He beats the hell out of this guy. He slaps the dog shit. You ever see someone get the dog shit slapped out of him? You watch
Mm-mm.
that. He beat the hell out of this guy. Beat the tar out of him and just pinned him for real in the ring. It was crazy, and I always think
Is
of
it
Coco Beware.
worse than what Hardcore Holly did to what's his
Yes.
face?
Yes, he beats the shit out of this guy in front of everybody and still
Damn.
tries to do moves to him after. He knocks him out and then tries to do wrestling moves to him. It's crazy. You have to see that.
Oh man. But as far as Butch Reed, it was just again sound like a broken record. This match was less than 4 minutes. It was a whole lot of nothing at the beginning. And then Butch Reed just dominates him, and then ultimately Coco Beware gets a little bit of offense in. But I mean, it was a whole lot of nothing. It was like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, not very well. They were trying to make Butch Reed strong. That they had plans to make Butch Reed a big contender, maybe Hogan's next rival, but
Oh
guess that
God.
never went through either.
What's up with WWE? Like people kind of criticize them for the MMA stuff with bringing in like Ronda Rousey and Lesnar, but even back in the day, they just had this need to include celebrities in their events, or like not even, or like former athletes, or stuff like that. Like I don't feel why they feel the need to do it.
It brings a legitimate presence to it. In terms of NFL, you want those high caliber athletes in there, but in terms of celebrities, you want it to be, you know, something like, oh no, this is not a wrestling show with midgets and clowns. We got fucking Aretha Franklin and we got Bob Euchre. It just which we didn't really touch on that, but they bring a little bit like, oh no, this is like something for everybody to watch. We got
I
these big
get that.
celebrities.
I don't mind them including the celebrities in the show. I just don't like it when they include celebrities in matches because to me it kind of like, which now wrestling has went down the rabbit hole, so it doesn't matter. But at this time, when they're trying to make it feel more legitimate, like WrestleMania 1, why put Mr. T in WrestleMania 1? And
He's a
you know,
huge star. That's
I
like
know, but it just ruins it. It's like it ruins legitimacy of it, in my opinion. That you can just have a celebrity that's come in and never wrestled before, come in and hang with like wrestlers who've been doing it for years.
that's like if you got the biggest television star. Like I don't know who would be the equivalent today because television is not a big thing, but that's like if you got freaking I don't know, Steve Carell at the height of the Office. That's what it would be like.
Steve
Like
Carell.
the A Team was the one of the biggest shows back then. You know,
I
top two,
guess
top three. So
I've just never cared for it really. I mean, there's are exceptions because I like Pat McAfee, but like for the most part, like I don't know.
I
But
like
I
celebrities.
but I gave that
So
match a half a star.
all right,
What'd you
big.
give it?
I just gave it a star because I like
Oh
Coco
man,
Beware.
you just like Coco Beware because of the picture that Jason put up.
No, I've always liked Coco. There's something about him. I think he just resonated with kids at that time. You know, with the
Yeah.
birds, and it's weird because they try to copy it a lot in WWE. They had because after Ricky Steamboat, after this match that we're gonna get to, he would have like a Komodo dragon and all that stuff. They would start doing that stuff with him. The British Bulldogs would have an actual dog. They try to capture it because that damn bird was over, and it wasn't just bring a random animal. It was just something about it that you couldn't recapture. You know.
All right. Well, after you tried to defend Coco Beware, we finally get to a damn good wrestling match.
Yep.
So we get to the Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat. Man, Jason coming in here with the pictures.
Yep.
But
Look at that.
I like that. He's actually doing something. Nah, I'm kidding. If it wasn't for him, he does a lot of the he does a
Yeah.
lot of the editing. Like shout out to him. He does a lot of the editing. We don't know anything about that. So if we didn't have him, this wouldn't be possible. So shout out to him. I just like messing with him. But as far as this match, this mania has been built off a lot of the post match or like memorable moments. But if you want everything in a wrestling match from story, because Ricky Steamboat, his story of just from his ethnicity winning the Intercontinental Championship to great in ring work to like memorable moments, like you cannot go wrong. This is probably the best match on this whole card. It's probably one of the best WrestleMania moments in WrestleMania history, in my opinion. Nothing bad to say about this match. I gave it 5 stars.
I give it 4.5. It's good. Obviously the crowd when he pulls that small package, it goes insane. But definitely when people look back on this now, I think more people remember this match than they do the main event because it was just, especially at this card. This card really needed something, and it got it. It got something because without it, it would just be like one of these things nobody would ever want to go back and see because that's like that for WrestleMania 1. I watched WrestleMania 1 before, and God, that's worse than this. At least, at least WrestleMania 3 has this match.
Yeah, I
Um,
think this is a hidden gem. This is the first match, in my opinion, that stole the show on a WrestleMania because, like you said, everybody's talking about Hogan and Andre, but this is one of the best. Might be top 15, 20 best WrestleMania matches of all time.
a lot
Um,
of people do like it.
so I mean, nothing bad to say about it. The right person won. Um, just everything. Match
People
was
don't
great.
talk about Savage as like this great worker, but obviously in his day he was
Well,
one of the
I
best.
think I think objectively, and again, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm agreeing with your point. I think Savage, like total package, is better than Hogan. Like Hogan, like the star level of Hogan, he beats Macho Man. But if you're talking about the star level versus what they do in the ring and the promos, I think Macho Man's better than Hogan.
Macho Macho Man can go toe to toe with Hogan in promos, but Hogan's just got something special, man, and he sold this pay per view. So I think I'm gonna give the edge to Hogan in promos just a tad bit, but in terms of ring work, it's without question, as Tony Schiavone would say.
That's your boy right there, Tony Schiavone.
Yep,
Uh,
and
yeah,
sorry, just wanted to say one more thing. Steamboat is just so slick, man, and it's a shame he never got his shot in the WWF at the time to be a world champion because he would have been great too.
oh
Instead, they
yeah.
they had to do the fucking the stereotypes with him, which was stupid. I'm surprised they didn't have him with a bowl of Kung Pao chicken coming out to the ring because the shit that they will do to him later is so
Oh,
bad.
I know, but they had a legitimate star here, man. Ricky, yeah, I agree with you. Like, the only thing with Steamboat is he's a little boring in terms of the mic, but he makes up for it in the ring. Um, but on a note, completely unrelated, but I meant to ask you at the beginning of the show. AEW got a very underrated signing this week. She debuted this week. Think she could be the best in the women's division.
I haven't been. I've been a little busy with stuff lately. What's going
They
on?
got
Who?
my girl Tony Storm.
Oh
Tony
yeah, I did
Storm's
hear
in
about that.
AEW. I'm excited about that, man. I'm
That's a
excited
good.
about
That's a
that.
good addition. That's a good addition.
You know how much I like her since the Mae Young Classic. Now she's a star. She's a star right there.
Wrestling with the divas is slowly getting back to can we get some hot women? I love it because it's like because now they got that Nikita girl, and
Hmm.
my god, the simp
Oh, you're
army is
talking about in
strong.
NXT, right? The
Yeah,
girl with yeah.
the simp army is strong, and she knows it too. She controls them like a whip. It's insane.
Man, I can't
It's,
blame her.
I mean, she's great looking, but I mean, haven't there been better looking women in the
She's
term?
just thick, man. The rest of like a lot of wrestlers, she's just thick. That's what they want.
I
Uh
guess.
Annie, you like those little petite women.
Yeah, but I need another AJ Lee in my life. It'll
Oh,
happen.
oh Lord. Where'd you go? You're hiding from me.
I'm trying to fix my connection. Sorry.
You're okay. So before we got the next match, we got Honky Tonk Man versus Jake Roberts. Not
That's a great picture, man.
I know, dude. He's just breaking out the graphics. So one of my favorite like old school wrestlers of all time is the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh my goodness.
I love the
Oh
Honky
my,
Tonk
he's
Man.
so bad. He's an
How's
Elvis
he?
ripoff.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Oh,
it. It was a slow paced match. It didn't really get into its flow that much, but I'm biased on this. But because I like the Honky Tonk Man, I gave it 1.5 stars.
oh
It's
my
probably a
goodness.
1 star match, but I like Jake Roberts too. I like both of these guys.
Yeah,
If they would have, I just think a little bit of it was, I mean, they're coming out right after Steamboat and Savage. So
yeah.
obviously you got to have the cool down match. That's why I don't think they got as much time. But two great workers. I love Honky Tonk Man. I'm glad Honky Tonk Man won. I can't believe you don't like the Honky Tonk Man, dude. Longest
Dude,
reign as Intercontinental
you
Champion,
look at
man.
these two wrestlers. Which one looks? Look at him. Who are you gonna pick as your favorite? You gonna pick the badass dude with the boa constrictor? Or you gonna pick the opening act at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas? Which one are you gonna pick, man?
He's hilarious and he's a good heel. See, that's the
Oh,
point. That was the point of the Honky Tonk Man. He's sleazy. He's so sleazy you're not supposed to like him. So the fact you're saying that means he's doing his job.
he makes he's the Elvis that died on the toilet with the banana sandwich,
You
dude.
leave him alone, dude.
He's bad. But Roberts is one of my favorites 80s wrestlers. I don't know who my favorite 80s wrestler is.
What's
Um
going on with my hair out there? But anyway,
I mean besides Hogan, we'll talk about I know who my favorite is, and he's not debuted yet, but I'm sure one of these days we'll talk about him.
maybe that'll be a future episode. We can do top 5 favorite '80s wrestlers.
That would be cool. But
He's the
I
honky tonk man. He's the honky tonk man. He'd be up there
yeah.
for me.
Oh my gosh, that is so cringe, dude. I can't believe you like the honky tonk man.
He's cool. He's cocky. He's
He's
bad.
bad, and he is bad. He is
No,
bad. He,
there's a
he
reason why he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion.
because they had nobody else to put that shit on. That's why. And it will. I think he beats it from takes it from Steamboat, and that's what starts
I
this reign.
think so. I know he loses it to
The Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior, yeah.
Yeah.
But fucking Ultimate Warrior. I hate Ultimate Warrior. But anyway, I know he's dead. I don't want to speak ill will of the dead, but as a wrestler, I don't like it.
And then after this, this match, because I didn't really, I thought it was an okay. Um, well, before we get to that, which you just did a raspberry for, we got an iconic moment of itself. Howard Finkel introduces Mean Gene Okerlund, and he announces that they have an indoor attendance record of 93,173.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
Now, this has been debated a lot from Meltzer as to if these numbers are legitimate or not. But even if they're a little bit fabricated, that to pack over 90,000 people in one arena, and you could tell for the time, pretty crazy.
And for a wrestling event too at this
Yeah,
time to get 93,000 people. First of all, fuck Dave Meltzer. I don't care what he says,
fuck
but
Dave Meltzer.
yeah, can I get a fuck Dave Meltzer?
Fuck Dave
Stole that,
Meltzer.
stole that. But either way, Dave Meltzer's a tool. But as far as this match that's coming up, I'm not even gonna go into it that long. Like again, just disqualified finish. Again, sound like a broken record. Not
Fuck
that
Brian
good.
Blair, the piece of shit. Yeah, I put him in the camel clutch. I make him humble. Fucking Brian Blair.
him popping the the graphic up there was the best part of that. But I'm gonna give this a fucking camel clutch, whatever you want to call it. Horrible
Camel
joke.
clutch.
I don't know. It's a horrible joke. Point is, this match was trash. DQ finish.
Uh,
You know,
you don't
bad.
like the Iron Sheik, huh?
No, I like the Iron Sheik. It's just this match is bad.
The Iron Sheik back in his day, man, he was the first, like, he was kind of like Kurt Angle. He's a legitimate wrestler, does great throws and stuff. His mic skills are just funny because it's not like he just gets angry, and that's his promos. And they
Mhm.
never let it show. He can't get too angry because he'll start cussing and stuff. But overall, man, yeah, it's just one of those iconic moments. I mean, if you listen to Howard Stern, like I was a big listener, and you remember Sheik being on there.
Mhm.
Hold on, my mom's calling me.
Oh man, this is a
Yes,
very
mom.
professional podcast right here.
Yes, mom. Make the food, please. I'll take the breadcrumbs, please.
Man, just pop the Iron Sheik back up here, Jason. I don't want to see him talking to his mom.
I had
There
to.
you go.
She wouldn't leave me alone. She sent me like
There
five
you go.
texts.
There you go. Yeah,
Uh,
there we go. We blocked him out. Mommy's done.
yeah.
But they need some professionalism, damn it. You're always walking away, taking phone calls, like
I'm a very busy
making a
man.
making a mockery.
I'm a Street Beefs West Coast legend. It happens. Um,
Legend, huh?
legend in the business. Just
Anyway,
like just like these two coming up. Uh,
the what saved that match or that moment was Jim Duggan coming out after.
really, you like
Yeah.
that?
USA, USA, USA.
Yeah, he's a
But
big idiot. He's one of the reasons that will get the WWF in trouble. But I don't know if you to segue just to sidebar a little bit. Him and Sheiky Baby take a drive, and they end up getting arrested for DUI and having illegal drugs in the car. And
what was it? Was it weed?
I don't know if it was weed or cocaine. It was some shit. I think it was cocaine. I think for some
Oh
reason I think
man.
it was stronger. But
I mean, just look at the Iron Sheik. He probably looks like he's coked out of his mind.
and the big question was, well, why are these two guys riding together if they're rivals on TV and stuff? And then that's when WWF
Oh
came out.
yeah.
So they fucked it up, those two right
They
there.
killed kayfabe.
Yeah, those two are
Do
the
you think
reason.
realistically, do you think they're the reason why they killed kayfabe? Do you put it solely on them? At least
No,
initially.
no.
Okay.
I think it was bound to happen. I think most people knew. I mean, if you're any sort of like because a lot of people were losing their self, and their immersion was a bigger thing back then. But if you really looked at it, you could tell like this is not the same thing as Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. There's a little bit of a difference here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is what it is, man. And everybody grew to appreciate wrestling more and more. And now there's smart ass people like me watching it. So we got to
Okay.
thank
Well,
we.
don't pat yourself on the back too hard.
I went to community college.
All right. So we chugged through the bad stuff. We got it pulled up on our laptop. You can
Yeah,
actually, well, my laptop, whatever your device you're using. But so main event time: Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant for the WWE Championship, WrestleMania 3. This match is actually available for free by the WWE on YouTube. We're gonna watch that one. It's 16 minutes and 46 seconds. So you'll kind of get our live reactions to everything. Are you ready, Devin?
yeah. So if you want to cue it up, we're gonna have it queued up at 1 second, and on my count of five, we'll go ahead and press play here.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Ye-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh man, just look at that. The intense.
Yeah, look, this is iconic moments, man. This is like when you see Muhammad Ali versus Frazier. I hate to bring it up again, but this is one of those moments.
Gorilla Monsoon just makes the moment so much bigger than what it is.
Yeah, he's a very smart, educated. Look at this. Like they're not doing anything, but everyone is like,
Yeah, they're
"Holy
just like, oh
shit!"
my god.
Uh,
Oh man, throw them haymakers.
yeah. Look, look, look. Oh, here.
Oh, he can't
This is
pick
a
him up.
controversial moment. He does. Now, a lot of people said this was controversial. A lot of people say Andre did this on purpose and that Hogan didn't get his shoulder up. But I clearly saw him get it up.
He got it up.
He got it up.
I think that's people reading too much into it.
Yeah. And that would be used as a storyline later in this feud. That,
Oh, really?
yeah, Andre would be like, I pinned Hulk Hogan's shoulders to the mat. And people were like, and the referee didn't count it right. It was a big thing.
I guess that was a way at the time to kind of like make Andre look a little better
Yeah, that was
than losing this.
close.
Because was Andre still undefeated at this point?
I don't know if you could say. I mean, technically, he was never undefeated. He lost sometimes, but in the WWF, he's even lost, but it wasn't highly televised. I don't think. And see, there's an era of legitimacy to this because it's like, man, did Hogan really blow his back out? He doesn't look good. It's just something about it.
It's good selling though, for
Yeah.
his part. Well, if he blew his back out, he wouldn't have been able to do the iconic moment at the end.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Right now, in this moment, right here, people are like,
Oh,
"Oh, what's
I get
going
what you're
on?"
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
They told a good story for sure. This is classic David versus Goliath
Yeah.
type story.
Another one.
Just demolishing him, dude.
So far, this is better than half of the matches on the card, though. That's all they had to
Oh
do.
yeah.
Bobby the Brains had to change his outfit about 12 times tonight.
I know.
He's got a lot of
He's like
investors.
shit. He's like shit. I gotta. That's a little minor thing, but I like it when commentators go world's heavyweight instead of world heavyweight. Like,
Yeah.
it just makes it sound better, like the world's heavyweight champion, like you're the representing the world as the champion. Oh, come on, Hogan, you gotta do something, man.
And at this time, Andre's in ring was starting to slow down as the health problems increased, but he looks pretty good here. He will definitely get worse as time goes on, but it would have been cool to
Look
see a
how
better, healthier Andre versus Hogan too.
look how big he is, though, dude. My God, like I y'all know he's big, but just seeing it, imagine seeing Andre in person.
Yeah, it's crazy. He looks like a real ass giant when you think of a giant
I'm
in a
getting that
story.
YouTube ad.
Yeah.
Did you get an ad yet?
No, where you I paused at 417.
This is what happens sometimes. Got a Snickers ad. 409.
Okay, go to 417. Then we'll start again.
Okay.
Even Conrad and Bruce do this, so it's all good.
Oh, they get the ads too.
Yeah, they get messed up sometimes. I think they watch it on Peacock, but I mean, this is
All
fine
right.
for what this is.
All right. So I'll count it down this time. We'll go on 5.
Okay.
Everybody else watching along will go on 5 too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was showing my friend Landon the other day, like his brother loves Hulk Hogan. I showed him the Hogan versus Michaels, and then I showed him Hogan versus Orton, which was his last match. But even like him, he's like in his early 20s. He loves Hulk Hogan too. He just thinks he's funny to watch, and like he likes it when he hulks up and stuff. It's just something about watching a Hulk Hogan match that you
You
get
can't not
invested
like
into.
Hogan, man. He's iconic. He's the Michael Jordan. Everybody's dad liked Hulk Hogan. My dad loved Hulk Hogan. And look, here
Jason
we
needs to
go.
just put a graphic of Hogan on the screen.
But look, he's just
There it is. He
coming.
did it.
He did it. I'm watching.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm.
I have it minimized to the side.
Okay.
Oh man, dragging the head in. Come on, ref. You got a 5 count. You got to break it up.
I mean, considering the limits Andre had, they're putting together a good match, decently.
Well, it's just that classic story. Like Andre got his momentum early. Oh man,
Nice.
big boot right there.
Yeah,
My stepdad was very lucky. Andre used to wrestle like local matches. They had some over here at the local coliseum. He said he got to meet Andre, and he was just like huge. Like he's even bigger than what you see on camera.
Rick's
It's
ass
just
met Andre. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah,
Wow,
yeah. Rick, he met him.
that's pretty cool.
Oh,
The iconic bear hug.
good
Y-
lord.
Watching this so far, this is not as bad as people make it out to be.
Nah, I mean it's a classic. It's a classic wrestling match. Like I think what people do, which they do with a lot of stuff, is what I mentioned earlier, is they compare it to matches of today, and you can't do that. You have to judge it in that bubble. Like for a
Hmm.
match in the '80s, like I don't know, you're getting what you thought you're gonna get.
It would be cool as hell if Hogan got the over unders here and just did a lateral drop. That's what he should have did. Look, he's going for it.
Let's see.
People forget how big Hogan is because he's always fighting guys that are bigger than him.
Hmm.
This fucker's huge.
He just looks like an old man with that haircut, though.
I wonder how.
Always,
I wonder how old he is here. In his 30s, right? Maybe.
probably so. Because when he was wrestling Orton in '06, he was in his 50s.
Yeah.
So apparently, there's been stories too that Andre wasn't the most pleasant smelling person.
Well, I mean, when you're that big, it is kind of hard to clean yourself.
So like, imagine being in this bear hug and just getting a big old whiff.
Yeah, man. Do you know what a
Oh,
muffler is?
another ad coming up.
Oh, is there? Okay, I'll pause it. Well, we can go into what a muffler is. A muffler is basically a male tampon for big guys. They use it and they catch all the debris that flies out of the ass there, and a lot of big guys use it.
How
Dusty
did you
Rhodes.
know that?
I
How
know
did you know
everything about everything, dude. Of course, I know what a muffler is.
that?
So
All right, I'm
Andre's
at 8.
mufflers. You're at what?
Shut. I'm at 8 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, I'm there. You can go ahead.
All right, you got to count down. I'm laughing too.
Okay, on three. One, two, three.
A muffler.
That's a real thing, but Daddy, you got your muffler in, baby. That's what he would say. He's like, you don't know
Man.
that story about Dusty Rhodes? He takes a
No.
body slam and the muffler falls out his ass.
No.
We'll get into that one day, but let's not.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
There he
Hulk Hogan
goes.
heard the word muffler. Now he's
Well,
hulking
he's
out.
like, Andre, don't make that muffler fall out, brother. Here we go. I'm gonna keep it nice and tight
Come
for
on,
you.
brother. I'm about to fight through. Come on, brother.
I guarantee you, Andre
There
had a
we.
muffler.
Come on, brother. I'm throwing them haymakers, brother.
Pretty cool, pretty good right here.
He's phasing him a little bit.
Oh,
Oh man, did nothing right there though.
he's gonna
Try it
try to
again,
close.
Hogan.
He's gonna try to clothesline him out of the ring. Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Oh, and
Hmm.
that's what's great. Every time you think Hogan's on the comeback, he just gets cut off.
Oh, you think you're gonna knock me down? No.
That's not good. Oh, there
How
he
big is
goes.
Hogan? He's out of the ring now. You make Andre walk around ring? Oh.
Oh, you take muffler out my trunks.
The
Oh,
only thing
nice.
that'll be muffled is the screams of me whooping your ass.
You stupid. I can't believe you don't know what a muffler is, man.
I didn't know that, man. You learn something new every day.
Oh, look
Hey,
at this.
Hogan, that's a little questionable, don't you think?
He needs it. This man is King Kong. Oh, what's he gonna do here? Oh, power driver?
Oh my god. No way.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh. Come
That
on,
was
Hogan.
good.
You couldn't have
He didn't
took a back body drop right there.
they didn't I don't think anybody's ever messed with that before. They don't know how hard that would be. They don't know how to do it.
It's WrestleMania, dude. Oh man, giving him a wedgie for days. Throwing him into the ring. I want to say a winner.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, there he
there
got
you go,
him.
Hogan.
Look at that. The
Oh, you
crowd
dazed me
reacts.
good.
Finally. I think that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the first time he's been knocked off.
I'm telling you, man, you're just Jesse the Body Ventura. Uh-oh. He's hulking up. He's saying his vitamins or
He's
eating
saying
his
the
vitamins.
vitamins B12 and
I fucked that up, but he's eating the vitamins are coming into play.
Oh, there we
Oh
go.
man.
There it is.
Oh. Is he gonna drop
Iconic
the
moment. Here it
leg?
comes. Here it comes.
Leg drop by Hogan.
Great. Great. Perfect. Good match. Definitely the second best match on the card.
He actually
He
body slammed him though.
That was not a bad match. People, you should go back and watch it. That was not bad.
I give it a 3.
There's a lot of intensity behind that. And imagine watching that in '87 and not
Oh
knowing the
yeah,
outcome. I mean, that's decent.
I think the
Official.
rest
Oh,
of
that
it is just him celebrating.
yeah, but let's talk about this here because I like that. It's the official decision. It's just like a real fight. They always have the official decision right after,
Yeah,
and they wait a little bit and they talk about it. Like in today's WWE, I'll go ahead and stop it there. In today's WWE, it's
and
always
it hurts inside.
immediately after the announcer gets on there. But now it's like you got to get the official
So,
decision.
so yeah, I give that match a 3.
Good match. I thought it was cool.
I mean, 3 is a good match. I mean,
Yeah,
3 is
look at that
average.
iconic moment, dude.
Yeah, the
Lifting him over, and a lot of people haven't slammed Andre at this point. A couple people have, but it's a big deal. First time that many people saw Andre get slammed for sure.
oh yeah, it was a good moment. I just wish Hogan would have got a little bit more offense towards the end, but overall, good match though. 3
And
stars.
and
So my final show rating was right at 2 still, but that was I'll give it a 4-star actually.
I would like to watch a good pay per view from that era, from the '80s. I know WCW had some, but like it's kind of cool to see the nostalgia of it all, like just how wrestling has changed so much over the years.
Yeah, it
And
would be cool if we could do a full like watch along and maybe break it down into multiple parts.
mm, something like that. I'm sure we could do a Peacock or something, but it's just like, man, to go back and watch that old stuff. It's kind of crazy to see where we are now, 2020. What is that? How many years?
What? This was in
87.
yeah, 87 and it's 2022, so that'd be 97, oh 07, 17, and then 20 would be 33. So 35 years ago.
Damn, it's pretty crazy.
Yep, 35 years ago.
But yeah, Nick, we did it. We sat through it. We watched paint dry at some
We
points,
did it.
but
That's that alone is like, deserves a subscription. Like you put us through the hellhole.
yeah,
So
please subscribe and watch all the other content here at on this channel at Yankee
on
and the
the
Brit.
you know the name of the channel, Devin?
Yeah,
The
Yankee and the
Markout
Brit.
Podcast. But
Well, we're the
yeah,
show.
Yankee and the Brit. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yankee and the Brit is happy enough to host us, but catch out more on the Markout Podcast. So what I was thinking before we end, I know you are a very busy man and you're ready to skedaddle, but since it's WrestleMania week this week, our next show won't be until next week. But I say um, we do a top 10 list of our favorite WrestleMania matches. And then at the end, we each do a watch along of our number one.
Uh, okay. I could
Would you
do
like to
that.
do that? Would you like to do that?
That's cool. That's cool. I got a couple ideas now too, but that's good.
What's some of your ideas on here that we can do?
Well, since I am a street beef fighter, I think it's only fair that we watch a couple of matches from Brawl for All.
We can watch the whole Brawl for All tournament.
No, that's gonna be no. I think we should just do like the semifinals. But Brawl for All, I like watching that shit. It reminds me a lot of Street Beefs.
I could see that. And then
Similar
we had a
concept.
and then we had a fan that wanted an NWO episode, so we will do that as well.
Yep.
Um, so a lot of content coming here, but Nick, that was for you. I hope we shed some light on how bad WrestleMania 3 was, so you quit looking at it nostalgically. But in all seriousness, I enjoyed it. It was fun to go back a little bit into the time machine and if that's it from you, Devin, that's it for the Mark Out podcast this week.
We'll see you guys.